you can have Windows 7, technically. There's no issue with the IT world with Windows 7. One of the challenges, however, with Windows 7 is Internet Explorer 8 and smart card support. We've proven to you the smart card works, but there's a support. So anybody that tells you that the reason you're running XP is because Sussex HIS lives in the boondocks, it's not strictly true. We can run Windows 7, so if you are interested, speak to Tim Moore at the back. He's hiding now and cringing at what I'm saying. Because we're actively looking for people to test it, customers, users to test Windows 7, because we need the feedback, not because we think there's a problem with it from a technical perspective. We want to know if it works for you in your environments, with your clinical systems and what you're trying to do. So the offer's there. Noise him.
Wow.
And as a flip chart, if you don't want to noise him because he's such a nice bloke, then pop your name up on the flip chart.
Question. Yeah. Okay, so that's an offer. Maybe you can refuse it, I don't know. But IT, you know, we're at the leading edge maybe, but also we'll reduce the infection rate of patients by stopping them pressing their fingers on those dirty pads when they come in. It's wonderful. We're coming towards the end now of the talk and the demos, and we'll probably move into a question and answer session. Is that right, Wendy? In a couple of minutes.
Just wait for pizzas,
yeah. And they're not here yet.
I've seen them arrive yet.
Keep talking till the pizzas arrive. Okay.
Did we use the Domino's pizza app? Oh, that's why. Don't know where it is in the oven. Have you seen that app?
No.
Domino's pizza app, only available in the UK, not even available in the US. And I had a US person this week show it to me, who's over in the UK, and they've been ordering pizzas in the hotel room just because they love the app. It's a great app. I don't buy Domino's pizza. It's a very good app.
We're putting on pounds. Okay. Well, I'm going to give a couple of, well, not exactly adverts, but just mention a couple of things you might not be aware of that are out there. Not necessarily anything that HIS is doing, but things in the information governance security area that you just may not be aware of. If you have to send data to people, you know, you're taking risks. You know, if you don't use the right type of transfer mechanism. NHS Mail is touted as a wonderfully secure medium, and it is secure, but it can't do everything. And when I say it is secure, I also say to myself, yeah, and you can still send it to the wrong people and all the rest of it. But there is a mechanism, and obviously you can get these details later, so you don't have to scribble it all down, but there is a mechanism for sending larger files of all sorts of formats, and having everything a little bit more secure than doing it through just sending an email, which, as you know, can go wrong, go to the wrong place. And it's called the Secure File Transfer System, which is an NHS product. So it's free to use, but obviously it is a bit restricted at the moment. The people at each end must have NHS Mail. So it's essentially NHS Mail on ASCII or something to actually do bigger transfers or whatever. Horrible. The other thing I just thought, when I came across it, last year I was talking to a company that were trying to bring a product to market. They were trying to bring a self-encrypting CD and DVD to market. I don't think they ever succeeded in getting to that point, but they've been pipped to it anyway. A well-known company, whose name does appear there, have come up with this device. Essentially, it looks like a DVD, it works like a DVD. The only thing that's different is when you stick it into your drive, your writing drive, rewriter or whatever, it asks you to set up a password. And once you've done that, anything that goes on there is then protected by that and encrypted to the full 256-bit AES encryption standard that the NHS loves. So it could be a way of doing things, but I would actually caution you, you can still get it wrong. You can still stick the password on a label on the CD and send it. It's not the plastic it's printed on. So you know, there's an object lesson. Any form of security can be circumvented by a human being, and anything can be screwed up for a human being by a computer. So at the end of the day, you know, as they say, there's an old saying about that, although I won't actually use the words because they're probably quite rude, but it does take a computer sometimes to mess it up, but human beings can do the same thing. So hopefully there's some food for thought here. We've brought in some new techniques, and we're bringing in new techniques which will actually help protect that data and information you've got, not make it harder for you to work, maybe even make it easier for you to work in the future. maybe bringing in innovative things like getting your patients involved in ways that they haven't been. So I hope that's been useful to you. And essentially, question time. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sit over here then.
That's right.
If anyone's got any questions to throw at us?
Even if it's not on this topic.
Yeah,
Or
anything.
We're here.
Yeah.
If I can't answer, I can definitely take it away. I like Peter.
Well, it's just stupid, it's really maybe a stupid question you've heard loads of times, but the size of the NHS mail account for 200 meg, whatever it is, is that ever going to change? Is it going to get larger?
I can give you an opinion. I can't, because obviously I talked to the guys up at the NHS mail team, and personally, I don't see that mailbox increasing until there's a major upgrade, and there's a slight problem with central funding at the moment. So I'm not overly confident. However, because we recognise this as an issue, we worked with a company called Quest Software. Quest Software had a product that allowed you to do email archiving. The challenge is, because NHS Mail is GCHQ approved, very secure, nobody's archiving product who works with it. So we brokered a conversation between the NHS Mail team and Quest, because Quest is recognised as one of the best email archiving products. And between the three of us, I sometimes felt like a parent, we got to the stage where they actually did develop a product. Tim is aware of this product, so because we're working with another customer on it, we're trying to develop it into a subscription service. What this will allow us to do is it will allow us to give you this big archive, which is available to you through Outlook when you're on the network, and therefore you can run NHS Mail with what you've got, but then offset the large bulk emails into the archive. The archive's fully searchable. So we're at the stage now where we're getting some interest from some other customers, and we're looking at developing a product around it. What we're aiming to do is, rather than selling you a system, we're trying to package it up as a service. So if you want one archive mailbox, we can do it. So we've got a local solution. Nationally, I personally do not believe we'll see those quotas getting any larger. Middle of next year at the earliest, but a lot depends on the infrastructure review that's coming out and what the general direction of travel is with government cloud, government app store, wait and see. Fingers crossed, if I'm honest.
How closely do you work with the, we're GP surgery, how closely do you work with the systems, we're with System 1 now, we were with EMIS. Do you work closely with them when you're developing things like this, or would they come up with their own?
In regards to
the security more than anything?
They obviously will do what they need to do to be able to sell the clinical system. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way to them. They're a commercial business, they want to make money. So what we're looking at is, when you buy that system, then it should meet all the requirements that have been set out for using that clinical system. I mean, the System 1, they're looking at the off-site kind of, what's the term, this buzzword of cloud and all this stuff. But ultimately what we're worried about talking here is making sure, yes, when the data is what they term at rest, so sat on the hard drives of the clinical system, it needs to be secured and encrypted. And there was some work done around the backups being encrypted and everything, just checking I'm getting some nods over there. So that's, we're reasonably confident, but you need to assure yourself that that clinical provider is doing it. When that information comes off that device, across the network, and onto your chosen device, a PC or whatever, that's our, as in the NHS, responsibility for ensuring that's encrypted. What we're trying to do here is demonstrate to you that when you move that information off of that system onto a USB stick, if you do that, or even when you hit print, that's when there's the danger for it, really. really, and we're trying to find those ways of securing that data down as best as possible.